Hi everybody, welcome, and today we are going to be building an FPV drone. I can't call this mine because none of these parts are parts I would normally use. This is going to be kind of an experiment. I've heard that these motors have come highly rated. This VTX also extremely highly rated. I don't know, we'll see. This frame, I use this frame all the time. This is the TBS Source 1 V5. And this is the stack I normally use. This is the SpeedyBee F405 V3. It's the flight controller and ESC stack. I posted a video a couple days ago of me actually, or not a couple days ago, probably about a week now, of me actually putting this into one of my drones that I was repairing. I have had nothing but luck with these. So I might be throwing a GPS module into it. I got this for free from HDLRC. Thank you very much for that. And this is a Radiomaster RP3 antenna. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what I do with it, but let's go ahead and just get started and see how it goes. So first things first, I'm going to be talking about these motors. These are Velux V3s. Velux, I don't know what they say. They're made by T-Motor Hobby. These are 2306. So that's your motor size, 23 millimeters by 6 millimeters high, so 23 millimeters wide by 6 millimeters high, and 1950 kV. So these are actually a higher kV than what I normally run. So this is the one I rebuilt in that last video. Sorry, I just gotta take these straps off. This is the one I rebuilt in that last video, and these actually have 1900 kVs, but these are 2207s. So these motors should have a little more pep. There's a large debate on whether or not they have more pep in the low end or the high end and all this stuff, yada yada. But these definitely have a higher kV, so they will have more pep on this drone. And they'll also be a big step up from the beater drone I fly, which is this is if I'm going to send it into a spot that I know I'm not coming out of. This has 1800 kV 2207 motors on them, and these are actually motors from the oh man, I don't remember what it is. Oh, iFlight Nazgul. That's actually the motors that are on that, and these are indestructible motors. I've only ever replaced one of them, and it was a super easy job, super quick. I mean, replacing a motor is, you know, super easy, and I've only ever had to replace one, and that's actually because I bent the motor shaft on it, and I mean, or the prop shaft on it, and you know, it takes a lot to do that. So yeah. All right, well, let's just go ahead and get one of these unboxed. I'll just unbox the one and just show you guys what they look like and what I'm going to be installing. You know, it's nothing fancy. It's just your typical drone motor, so I don't need to talk too much about them. I already did, you know, showing the drones and stuff like that. Whew. So yeah, these are nice green white. You know, we'll see how long they stay clean. But these are 2306, 1950 kV. I mean, these should have some. You should have some pep, that's for sure. These should definitely rip. But we'll see how good these perform. So there you go. That's the motors. That's what we're going to be installing today. I think we'll jump to the frame now. All right. Well, this is the frame we're going to be using. This is the TBS Source 1 V5 5-inch frame. I have used this drone for multiple of my builds. I have built this frame many times because I've broken a lot of frames, as one does learning to fly and just in general being an FPV pilot. I usually don't use this. This is just to hold your battery down. So this goes on your top plate right here, and normally it just sticks down there, and it's to hold your battery down. I use Velcro on my batteries, so I usually don't use this. But I'm not going to be showing you how to build this frame today, but if you want to watch a tutorial on how to build the frame, there are some very good ones out there. I believe Bacon FPV has one. I'm sure Joshua Bardwell has something along the lines. There's also, if you go onto the TBS.com, TBS website, they have one. They'll show you how to build the frame. But I'm just going to be time-lapsing it because, you know, you guys don't need to know how to do it from me. There's a lot better guys out there who have a lot more in-depth build videos than me. So I'm going to just speed run this, and if you want, you guys can skip ahead, but here we go. Hey, so I probably stopped the time lapse right now. You noticed I made a couple mistakes. Whatever. It's 3 a.m. right now. Who cares? But one thing I wanted to mention is putting Loctite on your screws. It'll save you a lot of hassle in the future. Blue Loctite. I recommend getting the gel. This is the liquid. It's the same thing. The gel is just a little bit easier to work with. But yeah, blue Loctite. Don't use red. You can use green. Green is a penetrating. Blue is a is removable. So I mean, it's a lock, like it's a thread locker, but it is not a permanent thread locker. Where red is a permanent thread locker. So yeah, but definitely blue Loctite is a must. So. So here's one thing I did forget to mention that I will be doing that is not, mandatory that you guys have to do, but I'm going to be putting some of these on. These are knurled standoffs. So you get two different size standoffs. You get a 25 millimeter and I believe a 15 millimeter standoff when you buy this kit. They're smooth. I replaced the front 25 millimeter standoffs or 30 millimeter standoffs. I'm not sure. With knurled ones, just because they seem to be a little bit stronger. I bought this pack on Amazon for I think it was like $9, and it came with like way too many. So if that's something you want to do, go ahead. But the regular standoffs work just fine. I mean, they work just fine. So it's just a preference. So now that we have our frame set up to a point where we can start beginning to think about where we're mounting things, I'm going to set this off to the side and I'm going to talk about the stack I'm going to be installing. So this stack is the SpeedyBee F405 V3. This is a 4-in-1 ESC. It's a 30 by 30. It's running BL Heli, and this is a 3 to 6S 50 amp ESC and flight controller. So I have used this one on multiple builds I have. Come on. I love it. I mean, I've never had a problem with it. It also has Bluetooth connectability, so you can have an app on your phone, connect right to it, and make changes on the fly. I mean, what more could you ask for? Like, it's awesome. Not having to grab out my laptop every 2 seconds, it's awesome. So, but yeah, so. Flight controller, ESC. pull out the bottom of the box, bingo bango, you get all the parts that they send you with it. This connector here, so there's 2 connectors they give you in this. This is for connecting your flight controller and ESC together so that they talk. Very, very important. This guy right here, this is if you want to connect an HD video system. I will not be. I fly analog because I enjoy it. This is, they even give you a pigtail, XT60 pigtail, ready to go. Tips already soldered on. They give you a capacitor, extra gummies, funnel rings. These are to screw your ESC and flight controller down, your stack screws, and a capacitor. So they give you everything you need, ready to go. Flight controller, ESC, all in one. Boom, you mount it on your frickin' thing and you're ready to rip. So, all right. So for these stack screws to mount your flight controller and ESC on, all you do is you flip the frame over. There's some holes that are milled in as well. These are the 30 by 30 holes because my stack is 30 by 30. And you just start threading them in. So you just grab your screwdriver, and you just start running them in. And if you have a good enough screwdriver, you can actually just spin the frame kind of like this, you know, and that'll make them run in a little bit faster. You do run the risk of stripping it out. Just make sure you have a very good high tolerance screwdriver. You know, they sell these, get FPV anywhere. They'll sell you a good high quality one. So just make sure you have one of those. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of speed run this for you guys, and yeah, you guys can just watch. Alright, so now that we got those put on there, I'm going to start heating up my soldering iron, and I'm going to take a look at how nicely that fits. And remember that it is never going to fit that good again in the future. One thing to keep in mind is that a lot of the times, no matter what you do, you are going to bend these stack screws, and this is gonna start to not fit as good. So, but yeah. Kind of nice to revel in perfection for the time being, but yeah, I'll come back to you once the soldering iron is heated up, and once we start making some connections on this. I'm gonna just pre-tin all my pads again. I'll probably just start tinning them for you, and I'll just let you guys watch. I am gonna be throwing the capacitor on there though too, so I'll kind of make sure to try and get good video of that. But yeah. Enjoy. Alright, well, I know I said I was going to get good video of how I soldered the capacitor, but I'm an idiot and didn't. So, but anyway, all you do is you bend your tail pieces. There's some holes in here. You just bend your tail pieces in and under, and you solder around it. And then you make some nice pillows to connect your battery leads to when the time comes. Yep. So, sorry, but now you'll just get to watch me tin up all these motor pads. One thing to note is just don't be afraid to use flux. Flux makes it so much easier. Get one of these pen flux. I said it in my last video, get this brand, Yosker, whatever it is, just buy a pack of them, use them. They're so handy, you know. But yeah, so I'll just go over this one real quick. So all you're doing is, this is how I do it. Fill your tip with solder. You can get a nice ball of solder on there. See? So you start to get a nice ball of solder, and you just literally just set it down on top of it, and it makes a little pillow. And that just makes it so easy to just stick your wire to. I mean, with the solder, it just flows so nice. But I'll just tin up the rest of these, and yeah, I'll get back to you in a bit. All right, and just like that, we have some nice pillows going all the way around the board for us to connect our wires to. So now we'll just take our frame, go ahead, and so your camera is going in this direction. So we'll just take our ESC here, and we'll just set it down right on top of these stack screws. There we go, just like that. Now all that's left is, well, there's a lot left, but now we'll go ahead and we'll get our motors connected, and then we'll start running wires for that. So, all right. Well, we're going to be putting our motors on now. Once again, these are the 2306 Velux 1950 kV. So these are some very fast motors. Hopefully going to be very fun. But we're going to be mounting these on. I am not going to be using the hardware that they sent with these. I am going to be using a different type of hardware. These are some screws that I get from work. They are Phillips head. And I know that some of you are going to say that that's blasphemy and I should be hung for that. But I get them for free. So don't hate on me, man. Just that's I get them for free. They work. They work great. I've never had a problem with them. So yeah. But anyway, I'm going to just be mounting these up. I'll show you how to do one of them, and then I'll just time-lapse the rest of them again. So all you do, take your screw, feed it through the bottom, go ahead, get it started, start tightening it out of the motor. One thing you want to be mindful of is you want to be looking up into the actual windings of the motor. Let's hope this gets into my camera here. You want to make sure that it's coming through the top, but it's not actually going into the windings of the motor. You want it coming through the top. This is very important. When I was building my first drones, nobody mentioned this to me, but you want it to come through the top because then you're getting the maximum amount of friction, i.e. you're using your full length of threads. Therefore, you have your most strength. And that is the most important thing because if you're not using all your threads, you'll just rip the motor off. It'll tear the threads out, and now you have to get a longer screw anyway. So using a full-length screw that comes out the top is very, very important. Very, very helpful. So, and then once again, all you do is just start working on the rest of them, you know. All right, well, there we go. We got it on, got them all Loctited. This is why I recommend using the gel kind because the liquid makes a mess all over the place. Yeah, it's just, if you're gonna get Loctite, buy the gel kind. I honestly might just throw this away after today because I absolutely flippin' hate it. It's just terrible. But anyway, motors are all attached. Now we're just gonna need to think about running our wires. And yeah, Oh, I did end up taking this off just to kind of keep it safe, so that it didn't get wrecked or anything like that. So, yeah. But I will get back to you when we start running wires. All right. Well, here's how I usually run my wires. A lot of people do it differently. I usually just run my wires along the arm. I measure it out to run them one like this. So this one comes down the corner like this. It wraps around this standoff and it connects right here. That's usually how I do it. And then each one follows and precedes that. And I use tape. A lot of guys use wire loom or other various things to cover the wires and keep them protected. I've never had a problem with it. I change my props pretty often, more often than I probably should. But that's just a way that I keep my wires protected, I guess. So, but yeah, I'm gonna just be taping down the wires, kind of getting an idea of where I'm gonna run them, taping them down in the 2 spots I normally would, and I'll get back to you once we actually start clipping them and start tinning them up. So. All right. Well, I'm not 100% happy with how those turned out, but they get replaced a whole bunch anyway, so who cares? I mean, I've had these ones on my main drone for, I think, 2 weeks. That's about it. Because you end up replacing them a lot. So. Alright, so now I'm going to be connecting the motors to the actual ESC itself. Like always, I'm going to do one for you, and then I will just fast forward through the rest of them. So, like I said, I usually like to run my motor leads around this standoff here, and then right down onto it, so it kind of ends up looking like that, if you guys can see that. See what I'm saying? So it comes around, and then I clip it to that length. Looks like it's going to be right there. Turn my soldering iron on before I forget, because I'm an idiot. Clip it down, maybe make it a little bit longer than it should be. Grab your strippers. No, not the good kind. I know, boo-hoo. Take your pen flux, dab some flux on there. Wait for your soldering iron to heat up because you're an idiot and forgot to turn it on preemptively. And then once it heats up, you'll be ready to actually solder and tin it up, and then just dip it right onto the ESC. So not quite there yet. It's getting there. Alright, so just let that solder run right down into it. Now, if you don't have a set of tweezers, because unfortunately I lost mine, I have a toddler. He likes to walk away with things. So, he took my tweezers. I have these, I'm pretty sure these are called forceps or something or another. I don't know. They're pliers to me, and they're going to be pliers today. So, once again, grab your pen solder. Or your pen flux, dab all your pads while you're here, just because you have it open already. Get them all juiced up, ready to go. Take your wire, bend it around, get it in there, get it in place with your pliers. Get it right onto that motor terminal. And there you go. Connected. So, one down. Quite a lot to go. I'm not good at math, so I'll get back to you once I'm done with these. All right, well, there we go. All the motors are connected. Yeah, they're all connected up. They're ready to go. We'll go ahead and throw the flight controller on top. Make sure it's going right way. We'll get this connected. All right, so I did skip ahead a little bit. I went ahead and soldered this on. I just didn't feel like showing you guys. I've showed you this before. It's really quick to just solder on a pigtail like that. So I just did it. It was easier. Yeah. So I also skipped ahead. I went ahead and put these standoffs on. These are knurled. These are the knurled ones I was talking about. It's just a preference thing. It's what I enjoy, or it's what I like. I feel like they give you a better hold, they're better quality, yada yada yada. So, but now we're going to be installing the camera. So I'm going to be taking a look at this camera. This is a new camera that I'm trying. This is the T-Rex 1500 TVL micro FPV camera. It is in black. This is what it looks like. It's just your regular run-of-the-mill Foxeer all-weather cam. It's a 1500 TVL. I mean, it should give us good quality, good for flying. So hopefully, but I'm gonna probably have to look up how to solder this up. I have an idea. I mean, what? 5-volt ground and cam. You know, I mean, that's basically all you're gonna need. But then there's some other stuff like OSD and stuff like that that I'm sure it's gonna need. But I'm gonna look that up. I'll get back to you once I've figured it out. All right. Well, from everything I see online, it looks like you've got just your standard, your 5-volt, your ground, and your cam. And then this is something called VSEN. I'm not really sure what that is. It's pinkish purple wire here. If anybody knows what that is, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section below. And I'd love to know what it is, because I can't find anything online that tells me what it is or what it does. But I'm going to be going ahead and just soldering these pads up. 5-volt ground and cam. They're located right here. I'll give a little pointer right there. You got your 5-volt, your ground, and your cam right down here. Yeah. Get that out of the way, get myself some more room here. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right. There we go. Clean, dang it. Alright, so now I'm just gonna tin these wires up. Get some flux on them. Now all I'm doing for this again is I'm just dabbing some solder onto the tip, right? Getting it loaded nice and full, right? And then I'm just touching it touching the wires with the flux on them and just letting that solder run down and into them, because that's what flux does. If you guys don't know, flux just helps the solder flow down the wire. It helps it flow in general. Most solders are mixed with a flux. That's what your numbers come from. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get these connected. I'm going to grab my handy dandy tweezers here. I'll be holding it this way. This is your 5-volt right here. So let's go ahead. We're actually going to give this another dab of flux. Why the hell not? We can double check too. It's our 5-volt. Whatever. I know it's 5-volt. Who gives a shit? This. Go ahead and just touch it down on there. Bingo bango. We got our ground right here. Get our ground in there. Just tap it down on that nice and happily. And our cam. Or our video lead, as it's also called. Just get sucked right into the solder right there. Boom. There we go. So now that that's all connected, I'm going to pull the camera out of its slot, and I'm going to twist these wires up real nice and tight. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this pink one for right now. I am just going to kind of just tuck it down and in, and hopefully it'll just kind of stay out of the way. Same with this white for the OSD and the sorry, not the OSD, the oh, brain fart today. Yes, the OSD manual, the camera settings. Sorry. Well, we got that nice and tight. Set our wings back up. Go ahead and just set this down right on there. Camera's upside down because I'm stupid, just like so. Maybe not so much like so, but like so. And then just because I have it so loose right now too, it is kind of wonky to get it in, because I don't tighten down the camera mounts until after the fact, and there it goes. All right, and that can just hang out there. We'll find a way to secure that in the future, but that'll work for now. So now that we got that connected, let's move on to the antenna. Why not? Actually, let's go ahead and tackle the brand new Rush FPV Tank Solo. So this is a 1 watt, I believe. Let's see here. It should tell me. Huh. It doesn't seem to want to tell me. I know it's more than 800. How much are you? Cool stickers they gave me. I'll put those off to the side. I'm a sticker hoarder. I, for some reason, have way too many stickers. I don't know why. But, yeah, well. Why won't you tell me what you are? Yeah, 1 watt. It can do up to 1 watt. I guess actually 1.6, I believe it says, depending on the environment's ability to dissipate heat. So, being where I live, I fly a lot in very hot environments, or very, very cold environments. Sorry, misspoke there. So I'm going to be able to rip this thing a lot. But the only problem I'm seeing here is there's no way that I can see to actually mount this thing. Like, I'm not really getting it. Like, it's big. It is really big. How exactly is that going to fit on my build here? Could have ourselves a little conundrum here, huh? Well, we'll figure it out. All right, so I went ahead and got that mounted up and got it all soldered up. I'm not going to show you that because I'm just going to save you guys the pain and all the F-bombs I just said, because that was a pain in the butt. Note to self, double check sizes to make sure it'll fit your frame. But, oh well, I kind of wanted it. I kind of knew it wasn't going to fit too, but I wanted it because it's an absolute monster. So, yeah. Next thing we're going to do here is we're going to throw our RP3 antenna in. This is going to be a super quick thing. You guys will get to watch this. You know, I've done this before. We're just going to set this off to the side right now. This guy right here. This is the RP3 antenna. Got 2 antennas on it. RP3 antenna. All your connections that need to be soldered on right there. Your clear heat shrink. A whole bunch of it just in case. There it is. Bingo, bango, bongo. Set that over there. Throw this crap to the side. This video is probably 2.5 hours long. Who knows? We're going to get this done. Alright, so I actually do have some actual soldering to do on this now. Get these prepped up. So we are going to make our 5 volt. I like our 5 volt to be red as always. Now my wire's coming out the bottom. Some people like it coming out different ways. Some people treat their bottoms as an entrance. I treat my bottom as an exit only. Note to self. Alright. That probably won't make it in the video because that's stupid. And there we go. Done. One connected. My ground, I like to make my ground be black. As always, black on almost everything you're ever going to work on is going to be ground. You know, besides certain things. For drones, I should say, that's how it's going to be. Otherwise, black can mean multiple things on many different types of connectors and boards and stuff like that. It all pertains to what system you're currently working on. Green, I always make green is my T2, or my T, sorry. Boom. And R is obviously my white. Last but not least, my white. Let's see if I have enough solder on there. Just perfect. I do. All right. So we'll twist these up. Bring this guy back over here, and this gets ground 4v5 T2 and R2. And this guy's gonna ride right up front here. But first, before I do that, I'm going to grab some heat shrink. Be a good boy. I'm actually going to heat shrink this thing this time. So feed your wires through. Pull it through. Get your heat shrink over the top. Come on, come on, come on. I get it over my UFL connectors as well, because why not? Grab your lighter and just let that heat shrink go to work. And done. There we go. Nice and heat shrinked and hopefully out of water. If not, we'll take care of that in a future video. So, it's still kind of warm. Who cares? It's sticky. So, I'm not sure on how I'm going to run the antennas this time. I might run them on the front arms, honestly. I run my current setup, the current main drone I fly, they run on the back of the arms. they really don't get beat up in either spot. I mean, and yes, I know you're not getting your best reception by doing that. You technically want them as far away from the carbon as possible, but I really haven't had any problems. So, I mean, I lose video well before I lose my transmitter connection. And I mean, that's all. I'm running a smaller antenna, but when I do run a larger one, I still end up losing video before I lose my transmitter connection, by far. So, but let's get these. Let's get the T2, R2, and the ground and 4v5 tinned up. Get some pillows on them. Okay, there it goes. Too much goes. Grab this guy real quick then. Suck some of it away. Works like a charm. And just like that. There we go. So we got some pillows on there. I am going to say, let's run it. Yeah, why not? We'll run it straight across. We'll just split it like this. Bring this down. I mean, what, worst case scenario, I gotta buy 2 new UFL connectors and I already have a whole bunch of them, so. Yeah, let's take wires like this. That. These will go back here like this. And like this. And we'll just connect these there. Alright, well, cut these to about, I don't know, here ought to work. There's my south wire strippers. No, not the good kind, once again. Strippers don't show up for another hour. Haha. Alright, and grab this. Get some flux on these guys. Get these tinned up again as well, so that they're ready to go to the pad. Alright, now that's the lead solder for you. It's good for your lungs, kids. Just go ahead. Wow, I don't like that. Why is that not working too good? That's because I forgot the flux. That's what it is. Now watch this thing just stick down like butter. Yep, basically. R2, so green becomes R2. This becomes T2. Just wanted to fix this solder joint. I just didn't like it that much. There, that's much better. All right, well, just like that, that's probably where I'm gonna leave you guys. I I'm not going to show you much more than this. I'm not going to show you how to set it up finish setting it up on the computer. Maybe I will in a later episode, but there are a lot better videos than I will be able to produce for you guys. A lot higher quality that really will give you an in-depth understanding of how to set up these drones on the computer. And I might leave some of those in the description below if I remember. I don't know, man. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.